welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Makayla, and if you aren't, then welcome back. By the way, I realize that I say welcome back twice, but it's okay. I've been saying it for a while and we're just gonna stick with it. In today's video, I'm gonna be giving you guys my 5-star books. Here is my pile of 5 stars. Not that much because I do read a lot, so from what I have read, these are my 5 stars and I'm really excited to go through them with you. My legs are hurting because I'm on my knees right now, so we'll see how this goes. But anyways, let's just get started. So to start, they have They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. It's a lot of other books that so many people recommend and I have yet to read them, but I know a lot of people do like his work. This book was a very slow burn in my opinion. I mean, the book's plot like went around, but it wasn't as much of a romance as I wanted it to be. This was like one of my very first like book talk books and I really enjoyed this book. And I feel like this doesn't have like a specific genre. Like you can be into anything and still want to read this just because there's so many different plots going on. It was honestly one of the only books that's ever made me cry. It was such a really good book and I definitely recommend anyone reading it if you haven't already. This is Room by Emma Donoghue. I'm not sure how you say it, but this book is really good as well. Definitely check the trigger warnings on all of these books just because I know that a lot of these books contain sensitive topics to some people. So I'd rather you guys feel comfortable with the book that you're going to be reading before purchasing. So this book does contain abuse and just there's a lot going on in this book. It has been through some tough times. I feel like it did not take very good care of this book. But I did read this in 6th grade, so if you feel like you are too young to read this book, again, definitely check trigger warnings and make sure you are comfortable reading this. Okay, so I've kind of readjusted myself just because I was super uncomfortable on how I was, but I feel like now that I'm more on the side, I can like show the books, whatever. This is After by Todd, the first book of the After series, obviously. So many people have mixed opinions on it, and in my opinion, it was really good. I mean, this book is like what really got me into romance books. I wouldn't say it got me into reading because I've always loved reading. I feel like the writing was absolutely terrible, but the plot was really good. And it's a bad boy, good girl trope, so they fall in love and then they go through all of this stuff. I don't want to mention anything that they go through because it's a bunch of spoilers. I mean, there's always something wrong with them, but they find their way through it, and I feel like it's such a good, like, Twilight, again, another one. Everyone has different opinions on this book. I didn't read this copy, so the copy is in really good condition. I read one that I got from a garage sale, and that is what got me into Twilight. When I tell you I'm like obsessed with this series right now, I mean I'm obsessed. I mean, obviously I watched the movies already because when I did read this, I didn't have my hands on the other books, but now that I do, I'm reading them, and so sadly, I was so eager to find out what happens. I watched the movie before the books. I feel like when a lot of people know about a specific book, you kind of feel like eager to read it, and I don't like to give in too much on a popular book because then you go in with high expectations and you don't get to enjoy it for yourself, and you just like feel like it's overrated. So definitely read this, and yeah, It Ends With Us was such a good book. This wasn't given like a clear synopsis or anything, so basically what it's about this girl who goes through her parents in an abusive relationship and she falls in love with another guy. I don't want to spoil anything else because, you know, it's a real roller coaster. Like, the book is just so many twists and turns, and honestly, please do check trigger warnings. Like I said, there is going to be a lot of abusive relationships in these books, but I do recommend this book so much. I don't want to be like everyone else and say it's my favorite, but it really is one of my favorites. I did tab a lot of my pages, and it was just because I wanted to mark spots that could have meaning later in the book, and you can tell that I did mark so much. But definitely read this book. I feel like I went in with the expectations of I'm gonna cry, so I didn't cry because everyone was saying I'm gonna cry, but I never cried. This is Want to Go Private by Sarah Dara Littman, which this book is not popular at all. So basically what the story revolves around is just 2 online friends who meet up and the guy isn't who he turns out to be, which isn't a spoiler because it does say it on the back. You know these things happen, but it doesn't sound real or like possible, or you don't really understand what else happens through it until you like really go into detail about it, and reading this book really put me in perspective. Punk 57, oh my god, I think this is honestly my favorite book ever. Basically, it's about Ryan and Misha, who are assigned to be pen pals, and they turn out to both be one boy and one girl. So then Misha and Ryan meet, but Ryan doesn't realize that she's meeting Misha, but Misha knows he's meeting Ryan. Ryan isn't who Misha thought she was, and it's like a bully romance. I don't know, I just really liked it. It was a really heavy book, honestly, but I just could never put it down, and I finished it really quick. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. If you don't know, this is the author of Beach Read. I rate this book a 5-star, and people have said that Beach Read is way better. So this book was so good to me. It is like the slowest burn ever, but it was a really good book. I was really rushing into it because I wanted to get to like the romance in it, because it was like I was so eager to like see their relationship, because they were two opposite people. And I went in reading this book with no expectations. Like, I didn't know what it was about. I just heard people saying it was really good, so I had no clue what it was about. I just knew that a lot of people liked it, so I felt like I needed to read it, and I finally did. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't. Give a big thumbs up, and thanks for watching this vlogmas, and bye.